Do you remember how summers felt when you were a kid? Time felt infinite, but at the same time it went by so fast. You had endless curiosity and infinite possibilities to do whatever your mind could think of. But then you grow up, you start having responsibilities, you no longer have 3 months of vacation, and summer starts looking like pretty much every other season of the year. The air no longer smells different, and summers stop feeling like summer. And especially these past few years, I feel like I have lost that childlike wonder. Everything just revolves around my to-do list. I always have stuff that needs to get done, so even when I have planned activities, I end up leaving them for another day or another weekend. And between working out, grocery shopping, cleaning, meal prep, I feel like summers aren't fun anymore, and I want to get that fun back. So after thinking a lot about it, I've come up with a 3-step plan, which we'll call the 3 A's. But first, we need to set the vibe. And by vibe, I mean, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you think about summer? It's usually related to what your summers were like when you were a kid, so I've been thinking a lot about that, and I have written down some stuff. For me, the first thing I think when I think about summer is water. Pretty obvious. Heat means beach, swimming pool, but even rivers, lakes. It also means having time for hobbies. I still remember a summer when I went to my grandma's house and she made me a crochet bag for my Walkman with plastic bags. I think about games, even board games. I think about spending time outside in nature and doing all sorts of outdoors activities like kayaking, skating, ping pong, slackline, hiking, camping, biking. But with summer, the drinks and the foods we eat are also different. So think ice creams, barbecues, salads, watermelon, all types of fruits. I love fruit. And a bunch of easy and quick and on-the-go meals, sandwiches, well, all that type of food that you can bring along to all of those outdoor activities like going to the beach and hiking. And I also think about road trips and traveling. One of the reasons I think summers don't feel like summer anymore, it's not only because we've grown up, but it's also because of how technology has evolved, and by that I mean our phones. We don't allow ourselves to get bored anymore, and I think that's one of the things we had when we were kids. Boredom sparked our creativity and our curiosity. It's what made us run around and try a bunch of stuff, look for stuff to do, and make games out of pretty much anything and everything. So that's why the first A is for algorithms. Get bored and find yourself again. We don't even get bored enough to think about how we want to distract ourselves. We just open an app and an algorithm tells us what movies to watch, what music to listen to, what friends to catch up with. So step 1, get rid of algorithms. Dumbify your phone so you spend less time on it. Cancel your subscriptions, uninstall social media apps, block the suggested videos on your YouTube homepage. It's not about completely blocking out everything, but about being conscious and mindful and being the one who has to think what you want to do with your time and being the one who decides how you spend it. A for analog. Go as analog as possible. When was the last time you listened to the full album of an artist? Having unlimited access to media is great, but it also leads to binging. Everything gets watered down, lost in the infinite options and availability. You start to listen to music not only for the joy of it, but while you're having a shower or getting dressed. You listen to podcasts while you're cooking and commuting, and you watch YouTube videos even while you're on the toilet. And constant input ends up being only noise in the background of your days. You're so bombarded with content that you don't even remember half of it. Plus, you also miss on the tactile part of it, the feeling of holding a paper book in your hands, its smell. And this also means that you own your media. Once you have it, no big corporation can suddenly take it away from you. For this, if you want to get back into analog music, I would recommend one of these players which has radio, CD, vinyl, cassette and USB. Though if you don't want to accumulate stuff or spend money, libraries are still a great option. The library I go to even has online movies. A for micro adventures. I want to enjoy my summer as much as possible, so I'm not leaving it to the odd week of traveling or vacation. I don't have the money this year to travel anyway. But I think I can get that feeling without having to go very far away or spending too much money. And I'm planning on doing that with micro adventures. I'm taking a bunch of the things we talked about in the vibe portion of the video and combining them into a unique experience. Because that's also a reason why summers don't feel the same. When something is new, it creates a stronger memory in the brain. And as we get older, we've experienced things so many times that there's no novelty, so the memories get lost and mixed with one another. That is, unless they feel unique and different for some reason. For example, I've gone on many road trips, but never with my motorcycle. I've gone camping, but never really near my house. Or how about a motorcycle road trip to a camping spot? I've gone so many times to the cinema, but never to a drive-in one, or done a hike where I had to stay overnight somewhere. Maybe you've done all of these things, but when you start combining stuff, the possibilities are endless. Bonus one, go all in on hobbies and interests. I have so many different hobbies and interests that I never have the time to do half of them. And usually I only do the ones I find the most quote-unquote productive or that I'm good at. But what if I could dive into something that interests me just for the sake of it? Not to be good at it, not for it to be a lifetime thing, but just to try, just to have fun. For example, I have a drone that I got years ago and I've barely used it because the quality of the footage is terrible. But so what? Who cares? Maybe it's time to crochet a pouch for my Walkman out of plastic bags again.